What's going on, y'all? So listen. Y'all, I'm gonna try to get through this video. Okay, first of all, this is Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, season 5, the reunion part 2. I'm gonna try to get through this video the best that I can because a bitch woke up with a star in her eye, okay? Right here, and it's bothering me. Alright, I gotta go put a warm towel on that shit. I ain't never had one of these hoes. I had to look this shit up. People telling me, bitch, put a warm towel on that. I told you that's what was gonna happen. And if you wanna know what the fuck what was going on, last night my motherfucking eyelashes was bothering me, and that's what it comes from. Girl, fuck it. I got a goddamn bump in my goddamn eyelid. Moving on from that, this Love and Hip Hop reunion part 2 started off where I left off last week with Tiara Marie, Akbar, Alejandra, and Shaniqua. Okay, they sitting on the stage and they just going back and forth about the lies and the bullshit. He's a liar, he's a manipulator, he's a deceiver, and I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you no more. Trust me, Katie. Bitch, that's my motherfucking movie. That is my mini series. I never do anything to hurt you. And breaks window. Girl, that's my motherfucking movie. That's my movie, okay? If you don't know where they come from, shame on you, okay? Shame on you. Moving on from that, they just going back and forth, and this whole thing with Monique got involved into it. That's what happened at the end of the last week's episode, and she threw a shoe at Sade, and because she couldn't get up there to her, and they getting upset. Oh, so somebody gonna throw a shoe each season, somebody gonna throw a shoe each time or whatever. Okay, my motherfucking ass puffy. Anyway, y'all, it's irritating me because I can see the puffiness and it feel like I gotta move something, but it won't move because it's on my eyelid. Anyway, y'all don't want to hear that shit. If y'all got some remedy besides the hot towel or whatever, one towel to put on there to make this shit go away quicker, do I get some eye drops or something like that? Please put it down in the comments. Let me know if you experienced this before. See, this is what YouTube is good for, because y'all be giving me suggestions and shit. Social media good for something. Moving on from that, so Monique was doing all that stuff. Act like gonna say something. Don't pass out again. Don't pass out again. I was like, that's corny as hell. Get the fuck up out of here. Of course, they take Monique out. They continue talking. You got Bridget sitting up here asking the questions about why, if you think that you equipped. First of all, Alejandra and Sade, they was like, first of all, if, because the question is, if he said that he's taking women that are at a low point in their life, or they, basically pathetic, and they need a man and all this stuff and whoop de woo, is that what you feel like, for them too? And then Alejandra talking about something, when I came here and I moved to LA and I didn't have nothing, and I was at a low point in my life. I had no structure, and I needed somebody to put structure in my life. And I feel like everybody needs a man. This is what Sade said. I feel like everybody needs somebody, a man or somebody, to put a structure in their life and to do all this shit. I said, bitch, the fuck what? What the hell is going on? Girl, this nigga logic, this pimp logic is just killing me. You're like, what was going on? And they like, I want to know what was going on in Alejandra and Sade's family life, for them to be able to attach themselves to something like this, to this ideology that this man is putting out here. Okay, Bridget sitting there asking these in-depth ass questions, and I'm sitting here like this. Girl, it felt like I was sitting in college all over again and actually learning the lesson from the professor, because she went deep with that shit. Basically talking about how come, basically the gist of it was, if you knew that Tiara was in this vulnerable state or whatever, why would you bring her into a situation with people that are not, and knowing that she's not equipped to deal with people who are already equipped to, so-called equipped to deal with what's going on, and then he tried to flip that shit on her and say, well, see, you was in a situation where you was dating multiple men or whatever, you was doing this and doing that, so what is the difference between me? I said, bitch, the difference between Bridget and you is, you out here preying on girls. You're preying on people, young women and women in general. You're preying on them to, the ones that seem like they got something going wrong in their life. You're preying on their innocence. You're preying on their dumbness. You're preying on their weaknesses and things of as such, and you're trying to use it for your advantage to manipulate them. That is what you're doing, okay? You're trying to control them in that situation. The difference between that and what Bridget was doing, Bridget was in a whole ass so-called monogamous relationship with one person, and she cheated, okay? She was a chronic cheater. That's the difference, okay? She wasn't trying to have a whole ass harem of niggas around, which I wouldn't see no problem with that. Hey, niggas can do it, why bitches can't do it too, And so at this point, Tierra getting all up in her feelings. They move on to the tape. They move on to the tape. And basically, I was just sitting here like, it's a bunch of bullshit. It was like at one point, Tierra did break that shit down. She said this motherfucker said that his phone with the tape got sent, and his phone got stolen. Somebody took his phone, so that's what happened or whatever with the tape on the phone. She was like, first you said somebody took the tape off your phone. Then you said your ex girlfriend did it. Now you saying, then you say up in TMZ that I the one who did it in the press conference and all this stuff. And now you saying Alejandro the one that post. Girl, who did it? Somebody ain't telling the truth. And I said, bitch, tell me the truth, cause it ain't adding up. One of y'all, and I was with Alejandro when she said, y'all did it, you did it, I did it, we did it. I said, bitch, all of y'all did it. Because at this point, we don't know who the fuck to point fingers at, so I'm just going to point fingers at all of you bitches. All you bitches is indicted, incorporated, and all this shit in this whole thing, okay? I said indicted, bitch. But no, Alejandro gonna say, I was sitting right there when you put it on. I said, wait a minute. The audience was like, ooh, what? They should have me up in the audience. I was listening to the video when Rox was saying her version when she went down there for the Love and Hip Hop reunion, and and she said they had them pre-recorded ass expressions and shit. Bitch, give me up there so I could just I could do that shit. Come on. Anyway, use me, bitch. Use me. And she was just saying, she was sitting there with her and saw her upload the video. I said, girl, at this point, I don't believe Alejandra. This bitch gonna say she took the fall for Akbar just basically because she wasn't to go to jail for him. And Lucci was right. He said, well, that's a whole bunch of people that'll do some shit like that. That's some ride or die shit that I can't get with, because, bitch, if you did it, I'm not going to jail for your ass. Why does my life got to be fucked up because of what you did? Fuck that shit. Okay, ain't that much love in the world, family, friends, foe. Bitch, I ain't going to jail for you. Call me what you want, but bitch, I don't believe in that logic. And at this point, Tierra was finna get the fuck up, and she was I'm done. Cause Trivia came out there. I'm done. Nah, these motherfuckers out here trying to get their little 15 minutes of fame off of me, bitch. I'm done. Because they finna up here doing this and doing all this and saying all this stuff and doing this stuff. I said, girl, calm down, because we already know you can't breathe when you talk as it is, and then you get yourself excited. I need to understand what's going on with Tierra Marie. Do she got some type of, I shouldn't talk about it because, she could have something going on with her, respiratory system, because I don't talk like that, and I'm way bigger than her. I'm like 3 times bigger than her. Like, come on, it's just, I need answers to my questions. So Tierra came back out and they continued this whole Akbar shit. I'm kind of tired of it. They all lying. We ain't never gonna get down to the bottom of the truth. Then you got K Michelle in the back. Well, I should say Kimberly. She's in the back, and they got her on the screen or whatever. And they started talking about the fact that Kimberly was up there talking to Akbar on her live and all this shit, and what she said about the tape possibly being fake or whatever. Okay, at this point in time, let me tell you something. Kimberly did the mature thing and she apologized for what she said. It wouldn't have been Ashley, because Ashley wouldn't have had nothing to apologize for. If I said that, that's what the fuck I meant. Because look at all the shit and how it went down, bitch. All of y'all are participants in this shit coming out, including you, Tierra. I'm putting that shit out there, because the stories ain't adding up. The story's just not adding up, girl. I don't know what's going on. So at this point, I still stand by Tierra. What are you upset that this girl said something about you and she don't even fuck with you like that and you don't fuck with her? But whatever, she apologized. She would have got her little edibles and that was it. They started talking about the Solo Lucci and the threesome thing with Brooke Valentine, and she said the reason why she came in, Nikki, is because they was up there playing have I ever, and somebody said something about a threesome and they was trying to imply that it was Brooke, and I didn't really get that it was Nikki singling her out or they was trying to be petty or whatever, and so she took a petty personal shot back at Nikki, and that's where it came from. And then here go Nikki trying to be all defiant and defensive about never sleeping with Sholo Lucci and the night in question. Tierra Marie was there, and that's when he was talking about a fake ass threesome. And unless you seen somebody did go inside me, you can't sleep on talk on my pussy and all that stuff. And they going back and forth. I still think they lying about the situation as well. You know, they talked about Amber Diamond getting her wig snatched by her mama. Of course, mama talking about something. I'm old. My wig was glued down, but I knew hers wasn't, so I needed something to snatch, and I wasn't finna throw off my shoes because I'm too old and all this stuff. But you see these guns and all this shit, bitch. No. The way I put my guns up just like oh boy, the little fat boy did on Nutty Professor. That's a read in itself. Ashley, get your life together. Moving on from that. Um, Whoo! Okay. So with that being said, Bridget was like she wasn't trying to fight nobody and all that stuff, whatever. And Brooke wasn't even sad or didn't feel bad about the whole catfishing situation because it is what it is. But like Bridget said, you should have went after Marcus first, okay, before you did all this shit, And he having y'all come after Marcus and other bitch, you put yourself in these situations. But I agree with Bridget as well. Um, Also, what else was going on in this part? Mm. Oh yeah, and go back to the Tierra Marie shit. They was talking about how they had her back up in London and all that stuff, and people was calling it out and ready to go to war. Bridget, the only one on this goddamn stage. She really did a 180, okay? Because last season I didn't like her ass. I didn't like the way she had herself looking. This season I'm liking her because she wasn't in that much drama, and if she was in some drama, she was being the intelligent force in the drama, trying to break that shit up or calm the fish down, and she doing the same thing on the stage. She the only one on this bitch making sense. So, okay, Bridget. Dear Mona and the people of VH1, y'all got to get y'all editing together, okay? Because let me tell you something. It's a community of us YouTubers who know each other, okay? And, we know some things about behind the scenes and all that shit. But not only that, people know people who be in the audiences and shit, and we know when certain people wasn't there this time, but then they was there at the last reunion, and you just basically used the old clip from the last reunion. Shout out to motherfucking Rox, cause Rox getting her shine twice, okay? Loving Hip Hop Atlanta, even though they using that clip, she getting her shine on this one, cause we sure enough saw her. I said, bitch, is that Rox? I thought she said she won. And then everybody was like, somebody said, no, girl, it's from an old clip or whatever. I was like, oh shit. Either way, my bitch getting her fucking shine. Girl, but Mona, don't make it so obvious next time. This editing shit gotta come together. Okay, the budget is up. Okay, the budget is up. So get that editing budget up too. So they talked about Brooke and this whole situation with her and this wedding and this relationship, and she said the reason why she popped up and proposed and did the wedding or whatever because he remained too idle. He'll be in a free clinic and stuff like that. And her whole thing is the way that she let things slide with Marcus in a relationship is because of the learned behavior that she learned in the previous relationship that was somewhat like at bar and all them. That's what she claims. I don't buy the bullshit, but it is what it is. It's just I don't really care about Brooke because I really want them to, go in and let half on her, and they really didn't because she was really messy this season. And I mean, she said she was messy and all that shit. Then they started talking about the whole thing with what them call it Booby showing up and why he showed up. She even said herself that she felt like he wanted more than a friendship, and that's not what she finna give him. And Paris talking about some, I had to drop the pen because that's my friend or whatever, that's my fam. He like fam to me, and she was like, I don't care, you do what you gotta do. And even Marcus was saying you do what you gotta do, but he was out his jurisdiction, which he was, okay. And she was like, he's saying that Brooke be telling him stuff about stuff and that's going on with them, and she was like, no, that's not the case. People probably tell him some shit and he'll call me and be like, why didn't you tell me this and tell me that? But at the end of the day, Booby was out of fucking line. You got a whole ass girlfriend yourself, okay? Worry about that bitch and not worry about the one that you ain't with, okay? Because that tells a whole bunch of shit on yourself to your girlfriend. Why are you so worried about another female that ain't yours, okay? She's clearly not worried about you. Why are you all up in her business like that? You know, at the end of the day, Booby, you made yourself look dumb as hell. Marcus, you know, you ain't slick, but you sitting on that stage like you slick. But hey, it is what it is. So we get the scene with Paris and Kimberly. They sit down. They just have them two on the stage on separate sides so they can sit down and talk about the whole thing. And Kimberly, she basically went off. And I don't blame Kimberly for going off. Because at the end of the day, Paris, you are trying to make yourself sound like a fucking victim. Okay? Because you the one that did the wrong. Okay? I did say that, you know, Kimberly didn't have to blast the girl the way that she did. But at the end of the day, how you expect somebody like her to react? Okay? You live your life on social media, that's what's gonna happen. And she was fucking hurt. And then Kimberly put it out there that bitch, you was a fan that she found off of you know, Twitter and all that shit. She paid for stuff, and I said that was your first big mistake. You was paying for shit. How you know, listen. It is a blessing and a curse to be cool with somebody off of, you know, social media, whether it's a celebrity or a regular person, because you just don't know the true intentions. And that is a risk that you take, okay? It's a risk for the celebrity because they don't know if this person trying to play them. And it's also a risk for a regular person because you don't know what their intention is either. They can wind up being crazy as fuck and try to do something crazy to you too. And that's on both sides, you know? But that's a risk that you take. And, you know, I can see why she's so defensive and shit like that. And being upset because at the end of the day, I really don't care to hear Paris side. You know, you threw that water on her, like she said, you threw that drink on her. She was 2 days out of surgery, you know, and at the end of the day, regardless of what your excuse is, Paris, regardless of if it was $5, $50, $500, $5,000, you took the money and you used the money without asking first. And that's what it all comes down to. So that's what it means to be that you stole, okay? That's point blank period. There is no explaining that, all right? You should have asked first, can I take this Uber ride? Can I use it with your card? Can I do this? Can I do that? Before you just automatically assume just because we're friends or whatever, that it's okay. You know, if it didn't happen in the past, you don't know the situation that's going on, you always ask first and you won't have to be up in no situation like this. So I really wasn't trying to hear anything Paris had to say. You know, because this is how I've been feeling throughout the whole season with this situation. Kimberly got off the stage and it is what it is. Then they brought Moniece, Ray J, Princess, and then they did bring Kimberly back. They took Paris off. They had Jay Wilson up there for some reason I don't understand. But they was talking about the whole situation between the Norwood drama. You know, Princess and Brandy and them, they cool, whatever. They fine. They fine. You know, family fights. They get a misagreement sometimes and they get right back together. Um, and then they talked about why Moniece, what they showed the pin drop first when it was at AD's fashion show and she was about to hit the bitch with the chair and she said what she said about the baby before it was born, afterwards at the vow renewal. And then they was trying to get back. Nina asked the question about, you know, let's go back to the first pin drop and why did you see this and do this? And before they can even, she didn't really answer the question. Moniece just sat there and bitch, Moniece, first of all, Moniece will sleep half of the time on this reunion. I know I wasn't the only one saw her laid out on that couch a few times. Second of all, Moniece is in a different headspace, okay? Whatever medication she's on, it's mellowing her out, okay? I don't know if it's just her looking back at life and changing stuff, you know, because I know she's been trying to get off this show. She's been putting it out here that she don't want to be on the show, so maybe that's why she's changing up her behavior so that people would think her boring enough and not bringing no drama so they can go ahead and in her contract and kick her off. But she basically said, you know, sitting there talking, thinking about what happened, and for her to sit there and call somebody baby, say something about an unborn child or whatever, that's not normal. And she apologizes. She genuinely apologizes according to her. And then Princess said, you know, I also want to apologize for talking about your motherhood. You did throw the drink at me first and that what got me speaking, but now that I'm a mother, I get why you were so upset and I really do apologize. They got up and they fucking hugged. Bitch. editing. Again, shout out to my girl Rocks one more time, because bitch, this second half, from the first time we seen her on this goddamn shit, they had her throughout the rest of the fucking show. And all that shit, when they got up and the audience was going like this, I said, look, if they show Rocks one more time, bitch, I said, look at this shit. Mama, stop it. It's so cute now. I was like, look at it's so fucking funny, because if you go back and you look at Forest Rock's videos, right? And she was on there talking about how come you didn't call me. Y'all filmed a reunion out here, whatever. Y'all could have called me to be back up in the audience and all this shit. Bitch, you in the audience now. I fucking love it though. Yeah, it was something else. K Michelle called that girl a healthy ass thief. Bitch, let me tell you something. No, but I fell out, okay? With your healthy ass. All I can think about was a black healthy bag, the healthy bag. Big anyway, she gets up there and she performed her new single "Save Me," and then they talk about some of the shit, wrapping up what they gonna do and all that stuff. You got Bridget up there wearing Safari ring. I think they just playing around or whatever, but they would make a cute little couple if they was together, but they ain't together. But that was Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. See y'all next Monday for Love and Hip Hop New York. Go look at the super trailer. It's on VH1's YouTube page. And just about everybody and their mama might be going to jail on that show. Okay? It is what it is. I will see y'all later. Peace.